I remember being in a hotel room and I had a bunch of drugs and money and a gun, and I'm in tears crying because I don't want to do this lifestyle anymore. When my daughter died, I internalized a lot of my depression and anger towards the world. I was upset that God took away my child. I remember, trying to find anybody out there just to come hang out with me, just to come talk to me, just come, give me some sort of guidance, because at this point I was really, really lost. The norm in the drug scene, people die all the time, people will come up missing, you don't see so-and-so forever, and you find out that they've been in prison for the last couple of years. All three of my kids should have been my priorities, and considering my daughter passing away when I was 20 was the kickstart of me going down this path of drug addiction, you'd think that having children in my life would have actually kept me and prevented me from doing that. I'm grateful now that I've been clean for as long as I have, because I feel like my mind has finally come back. My name is Dominic and I'm a recovering drug addict. When I use drugs, I become extremely mentally abusive, emotionally abusive. I become this, in my opinion, an evil alter ego of what I am at my person. I become a monster that I despise. I wanted to get help. I wanted to sit there and tell somebody. I felt so anger towards myself that I tried to kind of downplay it. I'm just doing it because I got to stay up. I got a new baby on the way. I got to paint all this stuff. I got to get everything ready. So in my mind, in that sick addict mind, I'm justifying the reasons on why I'm using this drug and the reasons why I don't have a problem. But deep down, I knew that something was going on. I knew that I was starting to lose my footing and slip further back than I've ever been.
While we were pregnant, once we had a diagnosis that we knew for a fact 100% our child would not survive, and there was no change that could occur. Once that diagnosis came, his drug use increased substantially. We didn't know that she would be born alive, but she was. 3 hours later, she passed. He was not really able to maintain a reasonable state of sobriety at that point. He was not able, in my opinion, to handle that loss.
I ended up basically internalizing all my anger and hate and just frustration with the fact that I lost a little girl. I didn't go seek help. I didn't go to try to deal with it in a healthy way. I did it in a very non-healthy way. Internalized it, which caused me just to be an angry person, hateful and spiteful to the world, because I was upset that God took away my child. When I couldn't deal with it and cope anymore mentally with my thoughts and my emotions, that's when I started using drugs very, very heavily.
His extreme was somewhat violent, but mostly heavily aggressive. It was like looking at somebody taking over him.
I ended up moving to Dallas to kind of start over and get away. That was probably not healthy in my emotional state that I was in. During that time, I always had drugs on me. I was always partying. There was not a time that you could find me without drugs. And I began selling drugs to go ahead and basically deal with my habits and make cash. So that brought me into inner drug circles that nobody should really be in. I ended up meeting people that you should probably never want to meet. I mean, these are people that could kill you at any given point in time. A month later, I got busted with a pretty hefty amount of cocaine. I lost my car, my clothes, everything that was in that apartment and that condo was just gone. My daughter's ashes, that was the only prized possession that I had in that place. The clothes and everything, the furniture, the car, that's all replaceable, but I felt like I lost my daughter twice. So being in prison didn't actually changed me. It kept me sober unwillingly for almost 3 years. I was basically just trying to do my time and get out and get back out to exactly what I was doing before. I remember working out in the rec yard and laughing at these guys because, you know, they're starting to get bigger and they're getting these veins in their arms, and they keep saying, I can't wait to get out so I can shoot dope. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with these people? But as soon as I get out of prison, you know, within 2 days, I'm back into the drug scene doing the exact same thing. I remember being in the bathroom and taking this meth pipe out and not wanting to use it. I mean, visibly having tears in my eyes looking in this mirror, and it felt like I was on autopilot as I'm using meth. And I wanted to stop and I couldn't, and I tried numerous times to stop. I tried to quit cold turkey. I tried to do everything, but I was such in a depressed state that the only thing that would get me lifted or make me feel normal or just get me through the day was using. If I didn't use, I was sick. If I used, I was angry at myself. So I was stuck between these areas and I didn't know how to deal with it. My ex-wife ended up basically leaving and saying that if you wanted to save your family, you need to go get help. At that point, things had gotten so bad that I knew that I needed to get help. In order for me not to go back to prison or die or do something to somebody, hurt somebody, I knew that I needed to go get help. And that's when I ended up going to Desert Hope.